The exponential growth in data collection by companies and organizations is aimed at extracting valuable knowledge from massive real-world data sources through data-intensive applications. These applications are increasingly prevalent across the various domains, enhancing our ability to discover new insights and valuable knowledge. Regardless of the field of application, the data management and knowledge discovery processes of any data-intensive application usually follow a pipeline structure. Machine learning pipelines are a relevant example in this case. This includes the collection, transformation, processing, analysis, and visual presentation of data to support decision-making processes. Data-intensive applications involve complex, multi-step pipelines that sequence tasks to achieve computationally intensive objectives. These pipelines not only facilitate the understanding of data-intensive tasks for non-specialists in data science, but also connect data scientists with domain experts and computing infrastructures, effectively bridging gaps and enabling interdisciplinary collaboration. According to the Workflow Management Coalition in 1999, a workflow is the automation, in whole or in part, of a business process in which documents, information, or tasks are passed from one participant to another according to a set of business rules. However, this view was primarily centered on business processes. Therefore, our focus here is on data-intensive applications and not on workflows describing business. In contrast, the scientific workflow serves as a high-level framework for modeling, managing, processing, and automating data-intensive and machine learning pipelines. It is designed to efficiently define and execute processes within a practical time frame. Each task in the scientific workflow is carefully instantiated for execution, forming a system where both compute-intensive and data-intensive tasks are interconnected through well-defined dependencies. Technically, this structure not only optimizes performance but also ensures a precise and trackable execution across complex computational pipelines. Workflow representations can vary and often depend on the tools used for modeling. However, whether an input or task is depicted as a rectangular box or a cycle is not of primary importance. What matters is that these representations enable knowledge to be reused and shared, improve data management, and allow for replication and validation. As you can see in the table, traditionally, data-intensive applications have been implemented using general-purpose programming languages like Java or Python, which now includes extensions or libraries to support these applications. But this still requires advanced programming skills. Workflow management systems aim to bridge the gap between programming and domain experts by providing functional elements through interfaces, usually graphical user interfaces, that simplify the operation, optimization, and management of computational resources. Workflow management systems typically employ their own language definitions, such as Triana or Lowney pipeline for scientific domains or K9 for defining data mining applications. However, these languages are closely tied to their respective workflow management systems and are not publicly open. In an effort to make their specification open, some workflow management systems have defined their workflow languages using XML schemas. While these specifications are publicly available, they are still intended to leverage specific features for their workflow management systems, making them platform-specific workflow languages. The main limitations of these platform-specific languages include limited interoperability with other workflow languages and execution engines, and constrained reusability outside the native platforms. To address these issues, the interoperable workflow intermediate representation was introduced in 2013 to enhance portability and interoperability among workflow-specific languages by separating the workflow logic from data and processors. More recently, the SWEL, Common Workflow Language, based on JSON for linked data, has emerged as a promising standard that serves as a baseline for SWEL. However, these approaches remain technology dependent, and as they rely on predefined parsable structures conformant to specific syntaxes based on JSON or XML. This dependency complicates the capture of domain semantics, potentially tying experts to specific technologies regardless of shifts in trends or changes in language specifications. This summary table of characteristics for each language associated with major workflow management systems can provide a detailed comparison. Considering the diverse origins of knowledge assets captured by various experts and housed within different tools, and acknowledging that these fragments of knowledge ought to be reused and adapted within existing data-intensive workflows, the necessity for a proposal like SWEL becomes evident. SWEL is a domain-specific modeling language crafted under the principles of model-driven engineering. Its purpose is to facilitate the creation of platform-agnostic, high-level data-intensive workflows which enable the seamless sharing of knowledge. High-level abstraction elements within these workflows are designed to be disassociated from specific low-level computational resources, platform or programming languages. Nonetheless, the supported high-level abstraction elements will be eventually transformed into low-level aspects. In an ideal scenario, high-level tasks would not be tied to any particular technology, allowing for a broad application and adaptability. However, this independence is more readily achievable when workflows are designed from the ground up. This is because they are not directly executable, but still require a conversion stage that associates them with specific computational resources through the execution engine. SWEL is formally defined in form of a metamodel consisting in a number of packages that contain metaclasses, attributes, and their relationships. Metaclasses define the key language elements. For a detailed exposition, the complete language specification is accessible as a technical report. As you can see, SWEL is structured into distinct layers. Note that this organization does not affect the language, but it provides a readable way to differentiate highly coupled aspects of interest according to the design principle of separation of concerns. The morphological layer lays the groundwork for workflow definition, using graphs with vertices symbolizing elements and arcs representing interdependencies. This layer simplifies the execution by abstracting the underlying complexity, enabling efficient utilization of parallelism and data composition. The syntactic layer articulates domain-specific requirements and resources, and the specification layer encapsulates information assets pertinent to the application project, detailing the experiment and data-intensive application context. Execution graphs within SWEL form the blueprint of computational processes consisting of nodes as operations and endpoints dictating the nature of dependencies, whether data-driven or control-driven. On the one hand, a data dependency requires receiving or sending data from to another node. On the other hand, there is a control dependency when a node can only be executed after another. In capturing domain expertise, the syntactic layer offers adaptable constructs to ensemble workflows, distinguishing between computational task, data provision, and control frameworks. The computational specification package then precisely defines the computational resources tailored for specific environments like dedicated networks or cloud platforms, following the principle of separation of concerns. The package workflow declares a data-intensive workflow as a set of computational assets and flows. Workflows are categorized into data-driven and control-driven with the flexibility to integrate both. This differentiation aids in validating workflows and reducing human errors by ensuring appropriate structures are in place. Data-driven pipelines are prevalent, where data sources are interfaced through providers that manage data accessibility based on its location, whether in memory, files, databases, or streams. Computational tasks are executable tasks performed without human interaction to transform inputs new into new outputs, invoking services like REST or SWAP services, or processes such as Java processes or a command line interface program, with extensibility to accommodate various platforms. Note that both service and process are extension points. SWEL's adaptability, extensibility, and flexibility is further highlighted through its extension points, allowing customization and integration of platform-specific and corporate knowledge, facilitating reuse and standardization. Finally, the package WF specification, along with experiment specification, records metadata about workflows and the broader experimental context or project, completing SWEL's robust framework for the precise, flexible, and comprehensive definition of scientific workflows. SWEL is independent of any notation. This independence allows for a straightforward creation of both textual and graphical syntaxes. Each element or elements of the concrete syntax is systematically transformed into its corresponding abstract representation within the SWEL metamodel. Leveraging this structured approach, we have successfully developed a JSON validator. This tool plays a crucial role in ensuring that serialized workflow specifications adhere strictly to the SWEL definition. Also, SWEL stands as a versatile intermediate model within the horseshoe paradigm for workflow transformation. It facilitates the transformation of workflow code from diverse sources into any target system, ensuring comprehensive end-to-end compatibility. This means that SWEL can efficiently handle inputs from various workflow management systems and convert them into a format suitable for another system without loss of functionality or fidelity. In a demonstration, we use SWEL to interpret and capture SCULF code from the Taberna workflow management system and transform it into the abstract model representation. The model is then converted to SWEL and subsequently transformed into MOML model. From this MOML model, executable code is generated to be directly used by the Kepler workflow management system. Importantly, SWEL is not tied to any particular workflow management system. Instead, it serves as a universal language capable of supporting interoperability among various workflow management systems. In our demo, observe how each visual element, every line, box, or square, corresponds to actual elements within the various layers of the SWEL metamodel. This precise representation allows for robust transformations into other models or code, enhancing sharing capabilities and enabling conformance validation across different systems. As a conclusion, in the realm of scientific workflows, CWL emerged as a pivotal technology, promising key benefits like tool and platform portability, interoperability, and the valuable ability to scale and reuse knowledge. Definitely, SWEL can complement CWL by offering a flexible notation-independent design accommodated to both text and graphic elements for enhanced accessibility. SWEL excels in representing complex workflows, supporting various data and machine learning processes with its advanced structures. It goes beyond basic command line setups, allowing for detailed task specification and sophisticated control over business logic, while also embedding crucial meta-information. Central to SWEL's innovation is the computational specification layer, vital to the consistent reproducibility of experiments. SWEL and CWL form a robust framework for data scientists and professionals, empowering them to create, manage, and execute workflows with greater efficiency and flexibility, ultimately accelerating innovation and discovery in various specific domains.